The iPhone 17 Pro series is kind of strange. On paper, these phones are packing some serious hardware, 12 gigabytes of RAM, that's 50% more than any previous Pro iPhone, and yet, Apple barely mentioned it. The new A19 Pro chip? Its biggest upgrade is in neural processing, with far more powerful AI accelerators. But again, not a single demo, no real features to show for it. What Apple did spend a lot of time talking about, weirdly, was thermals. They've ditched titanium, their favorite material, redesigned the whole frame to maximize heat transfer, added a metal camera plateau, and built in a brand new vapor chamber cooling system. But for what? No 8K video. No big new AI feature. No specific reason for all these upgrades. Which is why most people assumed it's just a mix of basic improvements, maybe for better cooling, longer battery, more storage. But here's what I really think, these upgrades are preparing for something that doesn't exist yet. These iPhones are designed for the future, not the present. Now, let's talk about what has changed. The camera experience, honestly, is really solid. Not because of one huge new feature, but because of the way all the small improvements stack up. You've got three 48-megapixel cameras that work smarter together, and the result is a phone that feels extremely reliable in any lighting condition. Day or night, indoors or out, you can trust it to capture the shot. Portrait mode looks crisp even with some digital zoom, and the front camera is maybe my favorite part. It's noticeably wider, so you can fit two people into a FaceTime call without having to awkwardly flip back and forth. It's wide without losing detail, which is rare, and if you're into high-end video work, the fact that you can now shoot in ProRes RAW directly from the default camera app is wild. It doesn't mean higher resolution, but it does mean full creative control, with zero noticeable quality loss. You can change white balance, tweak colors, or fix bad lighting completely in post. But again, there's always an asterisk. The headline camera upgrade this year is the new 4x telephoto lens, and, honestly, it's just not that useful. It doesn't focus well on nearby objects, so it often defaults back to the 1x main camera. Even when zoomed in, the difference is hit or miss. In some shots, you'll notice the quality bump, but in others, you really won't. It feels more like a software boost than a true hardware leap. Battery life? It's actually really impressive. I was sitting at 3 p.m. the other day with nearly 80% still left on my Pro Maximum. That's the kind of headroom you want when you're spending over $1,000 and want something future-proof. Charging is faster too, not the fastest in the world, but definitely quicker than last year, even with the larger battery sizes. Here's the catch, how much better your battery life is depends on which version you get. If you're in the US and using the eSIM only model, battery life is up around 12 to 15% over the 16 Pro. But if you're in Europe or India and using the physical SIM version, it's more like a 6% boost. That 7 to 8% gap could be the difference between your phone feeling fresh for an extra year. Thankfully, iOS 26 hasn't destroyed battery life like some people feared, despite the fancy lighting effects and animations. That said, even on these phones, which were literally designed around iOS 26, the software still feels a bit unpolished. Visually, it's stunning. The icons, the dynamic lock screens, the depth effects, all of it looks incredible from a distance. But up close? There are still bugs, broken animations, and weird layout glitches. It clearly needs more time. Now let's talk design. I've seen a lot of people say these phones look ugly, especially the new orange color, which is probably the most controversial Pro iPhone finish ever. I get it. But honestly, in the hand, they feel great. The curves, the way the metal wraps around, it's very smooth and ergonomic. And the design changes aren't just cosmetic, they help performance. The new metal camera plateau helps spread heat better and improve signal with extra antenna bands. I've noticed stronger connectivity in places I used to drop out before. Plus, the phone is more balanced on a flat surface, which is a nice little bonus. But yeah, they scratch more easily. This isn't just a theory, I tested it myself. The aluminum body on the 17 Pro scratches way easier than last year's titanium. I couldn't leave a mark on the 16 Pro with a key, but the 17 Pro? Not much resistance at all. If that worries you, go for the natural silver color, scratches are way less visible there. Or, of course, use a proper case. Now, screen durability is arguably more important than body durability. Apple says the screen is 3x more scratch resistant this year. But again, I'm skeptical. I tested it with actual metal tools and professional scratch picks. Last year's iPhone 16 Pro held up impressively well, I had to really go at it to leave a mark. But this year's 17 Pro? I made a visible scratch in about 10 seconds with the same tool. So unless you're in a very specific use case, that 3x to claim probably doesn't mean much. It's not magic. If screen durability matters to you, get a high-quality protector with anti-reflective coating, something like the Oriyama screen protector, which you can apply perfectly using their clever applicator tool. Another weird change, the speaker and microphone on the bottom have swapped positions. That means you're less likely to block the mic when holding the phone during calls, but more likely to block the speaker when watching videos in landscape. A small thing, but noticeable. Now, performance. The A19 Pro chip is ridiculously powerful, but day-to-day, you probably won't notice. If anything, the new animations in iOS 26 are a bit slower. But if you're playing full-scale 3D games like Destiny, games that demand high frame rates, this phone absolutely shines. It handles games at full 120 FPS with smooth visuals and no overheating. Under a thermal camera, the difference is clear. The older phones get white-hot in one spot near the logic board, while the 17 Pro spreads heat more evenly across the body. The new camera plateau and the vapor chamber do their job well. That means the phone stays cooler, battery health stays better, and performance stays consistent, both short-term and long-term. These are seriously good gaming phones. And the screen? Stunning. Super bright, with a new anti-glare coating that you'll especially notice outdoors. You can get a similar effect on older phones too, with the right screen protector, but on the 17 Pro it's built-in and it works really well. So what does this all mean? Honestly, the iPhone 17 Pro isn't just a random bunch of upgrades. Every design decision, the thermal focus, the increased RAM, the powerful neural engine, it all points in one direction: future Apple Intelligence features. The reason none of it makes sense right now is because the software isn't ready. Apple's hardware team is ahead of their software team. When Apple eventually launches its full AI push, revamped Siri, on-device intelligence, real-time AI tools, this phone will be the one they show off with. It's built for that. Until then? It's a great phone, with improvements across the board, better battery, smarter cameras, faster performance, but nothing that absolutely demands an upgrade from the 16 Pro. In fact, the base iPhone 17 now comes with 256 gigs of storage and shares a lot of the Pro features, and it's $300 cheaper. That makes the 17 Pro feel more like a premium option for power users who know they'll use the extra muscle. Apple knows it, too. That's why they're offering a 2TB version of the Pro Max for $2,000. They're targeting a niche, people willing to pay top dollar for the best of the best, even if the difference is small. So, should you buy it? Only in a few cases. If you want the biggest screen and longest battery life, especially since the Plus model is gone, then the 17 Pro Max is the only way to get that. Or if you're betting on Apple AI being a game changer next year, and you want to be ready. Otherwise, the regular iPhone 17 is probably enough.